Founded in 1921, the Potawatomi Zoo is considered the oldest zoo in Indiana. The zoo is about 23 acres, making it one of the smaller zoos in America. It is home to over 400 animals and over 56 species survival plans. The zoo is nestled in Potawatomi Park between the St. Joseph River and the Grand Trunk Railroad. The zoo has over 200,000 guests each year and is accredited by the Association of Zoos and Aquariums. The largest animal at the zoo is Masamba, the white southern rhino who arrived at the zoo back in 2019 from San Diego Zoo, surprisingly. If there's one thing that describes Potawatomi Zoo, it's simple. The zoo is just simple, with not a whole lot involved. However, that doesn't make it a bad thing, as that is what makes the zoo all the more charming. Due to having a small size, the zoo will only feature a minimum amount of animals compared to other bigger zoos like Indianapolis. However, in this case, that's a good thing, as having a small amount of animals means enough room for a large enclosure, which is something I much rather prefer. Perhaps one thing that makes this zoo stand out compared to other zoos is its placement. Almost every turn you take, there is always a different animal in sight. A good example of this is once you're at the tiger exhibit, you will immediately notice the toucans, the before mentioned rhino, and the okapi, all of which are near the front entrance of the zoo. While I did say I did like the zoo's simplicity, this can also be a negative thing, as some of the enclosures are starting to show their age. Perhaps the biggest example is the current cat house for their Amur leopard and snow leopard, which have been around the zoo since the Great Depression, and very little has changed of it. The current lion exhibit is probably my least favorite exhibit because it's just a simple block-shaped cage with rocks, bushes, and water. That's it. However, they have announced a new lion enclosure that is under construction, which to me looks much nicer. Also, due to the zoo's rather small size, it doesn't really store that much animal when it comes to quantity. However, it prefers quality over it. In spite of all these flaws, I still think that this is a zoo that is definitely worth a trip. I wouldn't necessarily call it the best zoo ever, as there are some much bigger competitors, but it's all around a good and charming zoo to visit every once and again. If you're in the mood to visit a zoo that is simple and quite easy to go through, then this is definitely the best option for that.